What's going on, guys? I hope you're all doing well and staying healthy. Today we're going to dive into blacksmithing and the changes that are coming to it in the new expansion, and there's some fun stuff being added along with some old familiar things being brought back, so let's get right into it. First, let's take a look at what reagents you're going to use in Shadowlands Blacksmithing. When BFA launched, we only had 3 types of ore: the common Monolite and Storm Silver ores, and the uncommon Platinum ore. Shadowlands, on the other hand, will launch with 6 types of ore. 1 common that will be found in every zone including the Maw, 4 uncommon ores that are zone specific, and by this I mean Oxygen ore can only be mined in Maldraxxus, Selenium ore can only be mined in Bastion, Phaedrum ore can only be mined in Ardenweald, and Sinvir can only be mined in Revendreth, and a rare ore called Aletheium that will be mined in every zone including the Maw. If you remember weapon stones from vanilla, then you might remember they are crafted by stones that drop from ore nodes, and since weapon stones are returning, we also have these reagent stones returning. The porous stone can be found in any uncommon ore vein, and the shaded stone can be found in any rare Aletheium ore veins. Blacksmithing will also get one of their most important reagents from enchanting. To create legendary plate armor, you'll need enchanted Aletheium bars, and you're gonna need a lot of them. So if you're planning on rolling a blacksmith to make some gold in Shadowlands, I highly recommend you also level an enchanter to supply you with these valuable reagents. Now that you're familiar with the reagents you'll be crafting with, let's take a look at what items you'll actually be crafting. First, we have the uncommon Ceremonious set, a standard green set that most people will use to quickly get their fresh level 50s geared for the entry level Shadowlands content. I sold the BFA Mono Hardened green plate set throughout the entire expansion, so I expect to see similar demand for the Ceremonious set, although I do want to mention the base Ceremonious set has a range of level requirements to equip it. For example, the arm guards can be equipped at level 50, while the belt has a level 52 requirement. The breastplate has a level 57 requirement, while the helm can be equipped at level 54. This makes it a lot less desirable for quickly gearing alts, so we'll need to add one thing in the crafting process to make it actually useful for fresh level 50s. If you've been keeping up with Shadowlands profession changes, you may have heard of the new optional reagent crafting system. This allows you to add extra reagents during the crafting process to guarantee extra stats on your gear. For higher level crafted gear, you can add missives crafted by scribes to specify secondary stats, but on lower level gear you can only add crafter's marks, which sets the level requirement and item level of the item to specific values. Blacksmiths can create their own crafted marks, and on the public test realm we currently only have up to crafter's mark 2, which sets the item level to 168 and the level requirement to 60. But Wowhead has data mined up to Crafter's Mark 4, which sets the item level to 200 and the level requirement to 60. If you're going to sell the green Ceremonious plate set, I'd recommend adding the Novice Crafter's Marks to every piece that has a level requirement above 50 to drop their level down to 50 so people can buy the whole set and equip it at once. The reason we don't want to keep these items at their original level is because once players hit those higher levels, they'll be in the middle of Shadowlands content and will have better gear being thrown at them left and right. They will have no reason to go back to the auction house to buy level 54 or 57 greens when they know it will be replaced within minutes. Also available are the Ceremonious green weapons, which are base level 50 but can have crafter's marks added to increase their eye level. These are pretty popular for gearing alts up quickly, and I'd recommend selling 2 sets, one of them at base level 50 and another crafted with the highest level crafter's mark you can for those fresh level 60s that will be scanning the auction house for easy weapon upgrades. Moving on to the next tier of crafted armor, we have the blue Shadowsteel plate set that requires level 60 to equip and has a crafted eye level of 151. If you decide to craft these to sell, I recommend adding the highest level crafter's mark you can to each piece, because really if someone sees your armor set on the auction house at eye level 151 and they see a whole nother set at eye level 200, it's a no-brainer which one they're going to buy. These blue pieces seem to take a good amount of ore to craft, so make sure during the early weeks of the expansion, you're frequently checking the auction house for people dumping cheap mats, and this is where having a long boy will come in very handy, as you can continually check while questing through the new zones. Finally, let's look at the top tier armor, the legendary Shadow Gas set. Every single plate wearer in the game is going to want one of these. If you want to create a legendary item in the Shadowlands, you have to start with one of these items. They will be one of the most important crafted items from the day the expansion launches to the day it ends. And knowing that, you may ask yourself, well, RuneKool, if every single plate wearer wants one of these items, why wouldn't they just become a blacksmith and craft their own? Well, that's where the new ranked crafting system comes in. So far, it only applies to legendary items, and it's designed so every time you craft a legendary base item, you gain XP, which will eventually increase its crafted rank. Higher ranked crafts produce higher eye level items, and people are going to want their legendaries to be as powerful as possible, and the ranks do make a pretty big difference in eye level. People that aren't majorly into professions don't want to spend the time and gold crafting a bunch of the same item until they get the highest rank, so they'll just look for someone they can buy it off of, and that will be you. If you're looking to make gold from blacksmithing this expansion, your #1 priority should be pushing your legendary crafting ranks as high as possible, as fast as possible. That covers all the crafted gear, so let's take a look at the final thing blacksmithing will offer: weapon mods. These are throwbacks to vanilla, consumables that give you a slight attack power increase. They're a great idea, and I'm always happy when new useful things are being added to professions, and I expect them to have a pretty high sale rate as people are always scrambling to pick up whatever small DPS increase they can get their hands on. They're super cheap to craft though, so even though you may sell a bunch of them, I doubt the profit margins will be that great. And I think that just about covers everything you need to know about blacksmithing in the new expansion. If you learned something new and liked what you saw, hit that thumbs up button. If you want to see more, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you all next time.